Good evening and welcome. This is your super station Joy 99.7 FM. My name is Animwaa Anim-Addo and this is Strong and Sassy. Now, tonight we're having a conversation about self confidence and women and the things that eat at our self confidence. So, lots of times when you meet kids, they're so confident, especially little girls, so confident, so full of life, with so much to say and so many opinions. And then over the years, you kind of watch as life kind of sandpapers down that confidence, that assertiveness, that strength, that those opinions. And so we're discussing today the things that erode a woman's self-confidence in a bid to help to restore confidence for those of us who are maybe struggling with it. So, of course, there's no better human being on earth to have this conversation with other than Ariel. And not really because she's a wellness coach, but if you've been a listener of Strong and Sassy, then you know portions of Ariel's story. And you know how she herself has gone through that journey of picking herself back up and rebranding and finding the strength and the confidence that we love so much about her. So thank you, Ariel, once again.
Thank you for having me.
For being here with us.
Thanks for having me.
So let's talk about self-confidence. I mean, first of all, obviously, we want to understand what it is, so that we can identify if we have issues with our confidence or not.
Yeah. So when we talk about self-confidence, we are talking about a person's trust in their qualities, their capabilities, and their judgment. I mean, that strong belief in yourself that you can make decisions and go through the things you want to do. In simple terms, it means a belief in yourself or a trust in yourself to achieve something you want to do. Now, most of the time, we sometimes think confidence is it's a trait, it's a personality trait, or it's something that is we're born with. But 90% of the time, self-confidence is something you have to develop. It's a skill you have to grow. And sometimes, like you're saying, as children, we think we can conquer the world. But what happens along the way, and then we lose that conviction and sense of I can do this, I can do that. What happens before we lose them? Things happen along the way, right from childhood through school and friendship, experiences. And before you know, it's like that surety you have, it's all gone. And as I keep saying, when we grow up, the work is to unlearn the things we have learned because they were not our own stories, and then now relearn and keep learning. But if we stay the same and we don't adapt the change and growth, then the things that we have wired as truth about ourselves become the things that stands in our way. So basically, self-confidence is that, sense of being capable, a conviction in yourself that I want to host a party and I can do it, you know. And another thing is self-confidence can change depending on where you are in life and what you want to do. You can be confident in something and not confident in something. And so it varies for, many people what it is. But confidence too, you can have confidence in something or in someone, but not have self-confidence. That's another side of it. And there are a lot of people who have confidence in things outside of themselves. They can believe that anyone can do this for me. They can believe someone can pray for them, but they don't believe about their own capability to do these things. So somebody can have confidence in someone or something, but not have self-confidence.
Okay. Yeah. How closely linked are self-confidence and self-awareness?
Okay, so self-awareness, it's the awareness of how you are reacting to things that are happening in yourself and why you do what you do. That is self-awareness. That's mindset or that introspection of why you respond and react to the world the way you do. That's self-awareness. And that is what will let you know what is holding you back. But some people don't even have self-awareness at all because they look at the outside to be the fault. So they don't take responsibility for the choices they are making and all that. So there's no awareness. It's just that they are responding and reacting to things that are happening. So self-awareness and self-confidence are two different major topics. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So they don't feed into each other.
They do. If you have self-awareness, it helps you to be able to make good judgment of the choices you are going to make.
Okay.
But if you don't have self-awareness, you always you kind of live in a blame world more often if you don't have self-awareness.
Everything is somebody else's
Everything
fault,
is somebody else. But with self-awareness, you start turning the light on yourself more and asking, why did I do this? What would have happened if I had done it like this? So it brings more work on yourself done outside. So they help each other. If you have self-awareness, it helps you to know how you dealt with something in the past and why it went the way it went. And then from there, you make an informed decision, which helps you to build confidence in another experience that you're going to have.
Okay, I get what you mean. So today we're talking about women and their confidence and the things that erode a woman's self-confidence. Is it normal that in the course of life there will be things that will come at your confidence?
Exactly. It's very normal, and it's actually what happens because self-confidence is not a personality trait. It's not static too. So you can be an adult in secondary school and have all the confidence, and then you get married and it's all gone because it's not static. It can change. Yeah. So a lot of factors contribute to why women, as we are growing and experiencing life, we lose our confidence along the way. The first one that I want to talk about is unhappy childhood, where our parents or other significant people in our life, like teachers, are extremely critical. That is number one place where we start losing our self-confidence. When the people we look up to, parents, teachers, are very critical of who we are. The next one is poor academic performance. So if you're going to school and you don't perform well, it kind of affects your confidence because though you may be good at something else, when we are in school, we are just told when you get 50, you are good, and when you get 10, you are not good. And so right from that comparison, it affects how you build confidence going forward. And then our genes and temperament also play a role in, what affects our confidence. Some people are prone to being, moody and low in how they are socialized. And so that also plays a role. The other thing is life experiences. It plays a major role. Our experience through school, through childhood, friendship, and all that. And how our first relationship goes all play a role in how we build our confidence or why we lose the confidence we have. Trauma, which is something that a lot of people don't see that they have gone through or they've experienced, but we've all experienced some level of trauma. It is one of the things that affects our self-confidence, the trauma we haven't properly dealt with. And so that toxic emotion is still in there and affecting our mindset. It's giving us a kind of way we look at ourselves. And so it always eats at us. Parental style. I've mentioned that sometimes the way we are parented has a lot of problems on our lives.
Yeah.
A lot. And so as parents, we need to be more informed parents and understand how to treat our children in a way that we don't affect their psychology, how they turn up to believe in themselves. Because 90% of the problems people are dealing with now is through parenting, how they were parented and how they perceive the world and themselves to be. Now, bullying is also one of the reasons women lose their confidence. If you are in an environment where maybe you are teased a lot or you are bullied a lot, it can really, gaslight you to forget reality of who you are and the things you even see about yourself. Because people in your life are bullying you. Maybe they laugh at you about something. Oh, your neck, your head, your leg, that kind of thing.
That kind of thing.
We think they are nothing, but they are so, they eat at people's life. And so for me, I tell people I don't play expensive jokes at all. So these things affect people's confidence. Bullying, humiliation, harassment, it affects people's confidence. And sometimes gender, race, sexual orientation. I mean, some women simply think they are not made for more because gender orientation makes them feel you have to just be here.
Yeah.
But there's an innate need to do more for everybody. God gave everybody that innate drive to do more. But I mean, gender orientation makes women feel I can't do more. And so sometimes that orientation affects women from actually achieving their full potential or allowing them to actually know that I have the capacity. I have what it takes to do this. You know, that is also another thing. And then perfectionism. If you try to be too perfect, you can't be confident because you have to learn through the mistakes.
Because there'll always be something that...
There will always be something that is not going to go well or will not go the way you want it to go.
Yeah.
And these are some of the things you need to learn to allow. If you want to build confidence, you need to allow these uncertain things. I mean, things that you know, you can't fix everything.
Yeah.
You need to allow them to go. And so these are some of the few things that affect us as we are growing. And sometimes our self-talk and comparison.
Yeah.
Negative self-talk and comparison. We've been made to look at the other woman. What is the other woman doing? What is the other woman buying? Where is the other woman going? That affects and erodes our self-confidence a lot. And our self-talk. But our self-talk also, we build it due to things that people, experiences we've had, makes us see ourselves in a particular way. And so we have to also look at what are you saying about yourself? It could be the only reason why you're not doing what you're doing. So these are some of the things that really affect women's self-confidence.
I mean, I love what you said about self-talk. I was reading something a few weeks ago, and it was about self-talk, and the article said that the one voice that you hear the most, more than any other voice, is your own. Talking to yourself about whatever it is. So if you're constantly telling yourself negative things, then you will believe them. But if you're constantly telling yourself positive things, then you will believe them. But the thing is, how do you tell yourself positive things if you don't believe that you are worthy anyways?
Yes. But positive talk is, it takes conscious effort or conscious intention to say positive things to yourself. It's easy for us all to, think of the worst that could happen. It's easy to go that way. I don't know why, but I think it stems from our response to threat. And so it's easy for us to think of what could go wrong if I go this way. So staying on the positive side, take a little bit more work. Takes a little bit more intention and focus to stay that way. And if you don't put in the work, you won't stay there. It's easy to be on that side because that's the normal, way we usually will react. By biology, we want to prevent the threat. But you have to build the confidence to look at the good that could have happened. And positive self-talk is something you work on through affirmation, through visualization, or through journaling. You can start writing positive things every morning. It's something you work at, and if you don't work at it, you'll just because it's a skill. Confidence is a skill, and everybody can learn it. I didn't think I could do the things I'm doing from my background, from where I come from the way I was raised, from the experiences I've had. But it's something I worked at. It's something I gave myself to go through the fear. Every day is living through fear. But I go through it anyway because that's how you can build a skill. I remember when I got certified as a wellness coach, I went off for like 6 months. I didn't know what to do. I couldn't do anything. I was so scared out of my body.
Wow.
Because now it's like, whoa, this subject is so big. Look at me. Me. Who the hell am I to go out there and talk and say this? And I just was stuck for 6 good months. I didn't know what to do.
Wow.
Then finally, I booked a session with my coach, and we had a conversation. And one thing she said that didn't leave me is that you won't be able to get the confidence to do it if you don't start. So confidence comes through action. You need to take one action, go after the other. And so I had to now find that motivation and find inspiration to take one step. And that one step, I've been building on it. After that session with my coach, I've been building on it. So it's not going to be easy. The thing is, sometimes we think everything can just come the way we want it. No. Life itself is work.
Yeah, of course. Of course,
So
no doubt.
you need to work at it to stop the negative self-talk by consciously, intentionally trying to feed yourself with positive self-talk.
I mean, sometimes TikTok helps. I'm saying that because this is a funny thing. I think it was a few days ago. I was looking at myself in the mirror, and I was thinking, wow, my stomach is really big. Like, is my stomach ever going to be flat?
Your stomach is big. Me too. I think my stomach is big. Then we are sharing the same problem now.
So anyway, I was looking at everything about, wow, this is my humongous stomach. And I was like, oh, I came to this place. I was like, okay, fine. This is where we are in life.
Yeah.
Then I went on to TikTok. And then I saw this video where this lady was saying something to her friends, and she said, no matter how big your stomach is, it can never be bigger than the blessings of God in your life. I was like, God is speaking to me. Hallelujah. It's not about the size of my stomach anymore. I mean, but I think I'm saying this to say that I think one of the major things that feed into our self-confidence is having a sense of humor.
Yeah.
And the acceptance of the imperfection.
That's it. That's it. I mean, sometimes you will see other people maybe in the same field you're doing, but they're doing something different. And if you only compare yourselves, you can't be creative, because creativity is different for everybody. And somebody may be in the same field as you, but what is coming into their head is not what is coming into your head. And so, hey, we need to give ourselves a slack a little and stop all it has to be perfect this way and that way, but just take the chance at what comes to us and go after it, and then we build on it gradually, and then we'll master our path. The thing is to master your path and know that the qualities you have, this is what you can do with it. Because I tell people, we all go into the shop to buy things. One makes one to pick someone else, and you pick another thing. It's what the person have in their head. And you can't take that from someone.
Yeah.
You know, so you need to have what is in your head and use it to do what you want to do and keep building on it. And one of the biggest thing we need to do as women is to continue developing ourselves. Continuously. You can't just wait that it will all fall into place perfectly. You have to work at, developing yourself to be there. It's not easy. And every day there's something new you can keep adding to yourself, you know. And that's why when I talk about self-care, I'm very passionate about it, because that's the only way you are giving to yourself.
Yeah.
You are investing in yourself through your own activities and practices and routines. But it feeds a deeper side of you, that makes you come out with a certain ability and conviction, because you know what you have done to yourself, you know. So we can all do it. That's what I believe.
One of my favorite sayings is, do something today that your future self would be grateful for.
Yeah.
I say that to myself a lot. Like, you know, especially when there are mornings when I don't want to go somewhere or I need to do something. And I know that this thing may not have, what's the name? Immediate payback or whatever, but I know that in the next year or in the next 2 years I would be thankful
for what you're
that
doing
I did
now.
Exactly. And I think that's one of the ways that you kind of bring back your self-confidence, like you said, is knowing that they're building blocks.
Yes.
And every day that you do something feeds into the woman that you will
want
become
to become
in the next few years. And also really the realization that you won't be everything you want to become in a day.
Exactly. I ask someone, do you want to get the $30 million you want to get the whole of your life today?
Yes.
You can. If you're going to spend 100 million your whole life, you want to get it all today.
All today. Thank you very
You
much.
know, it can be difficult to want everything to be today. And so I think sometimes we put too much pressure on ourselves. We lack a lot of compassion on ourselves as women. Yes, there are things we want to achieve, there are things we want to do, but it's one day at a time. And if you're not giving yourself the first day, you can't get to the fifth day. So I think the lack of confidence is more of telling ourselves we want to be there instead of starting from here. You have to be able to give yourself peace with here and start from here.
From here. And I also feel like, I mean, in terms of what you're saying, it's also timing. Everybody's timing, and obviously this is more poignant for you if you're a Christian.
Yeah.
Everybody's timing
Is different.
It's
true.
So I've had friends who have been wildly successful for the past 10 years.
Yeah.
You know, I look at them and I'm like, wow.
Wow.
Like, how are
know?
you this
Yeah,
successful?
yeah.
You know, and then I have friends who are basically like living on the streets, and you're like, okay, like, what's up with you?
I can balance.
But then you realize that there are times and seasons to your life.
Exactly.
And there's a plan.
There is.
So if you're going to appreciate the value of the divine timing in your life, then you'll have confidence in knowing that I am where I am, where I'm supposed to be now,
Yes, that's
as
true.
opposed to where I'm supposed. And I think that it also feeds into the comparison thing.
It's true.
Because then you're comparing yourself to other people, and of course you won't have confidence.
No, you
like
won't have it.
You really won't.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I seriously meet some of my classmates who are like, I mean, I look at them and I'm in awe.
Yeah.
And if for a minute I started to compare myself with them, I would feel
you
really
feel
dreadful.
really dreadful, and but you are also doing the best you can.
And it's timing. I mean, they're in their season. You know, it doesn't mean that
You
my
are late.
time won't
No,
come.
no, no.
Exactly.
I was asking someone today, I had a session with someone, I was asking her today, what makes us think what we are going through is not what we are supposed to go through?
Exactly.
What makes us think it has to be something else? Who told us it shouldn't be this way? You know, and it all comes because we are looking at someone else's story.
Yeah.
Journey.
And then
what
also
they
society
have.
sometimes.
True, society. We are looking at all those things. But I've come to accept life that it's unfolding perfectly. Wherever I am, whatever I'm doing, I give it all my best with all the potential I have now. I give it my best shot now. And trusting that I'm a work in progress. And as I keep learning and keep going, I'm expanding.
Yeah.
Once you start looking at that, it builds trust in God, because every day is uncertain. And if we want it to be certain, then we can't have any confidence to do anything.
No, we can't.
Because it will be uncertain. And there'll be
Exactly.
bumps on the way, and it may be another time. Just like they say, when one door closes, another door may also open.
But if you're looking at the closed door,
You can never
you won't
move
see
forward.
the one that's
and
opened.
a lot of times, we look back too much as women too.
Yeah, the past.
The door is closed. We keep looking back through regret, guilt, shame, anger, resentment, and all these toxic and negative emotions holds us back from taking the steps to move forward in an area we want to go to. The first thing you have to do is forgive yourself for whatever didn't work in the past. But if we keep looking back in all this resentment, anger, shame, and guilt, we can never get clarity to even get inspiration. Because every day you get up, it's like, and this and that. Now, it means yesterday is controlling now. And so you can use now to go into tomorrow. So we need to stop being stuck. Another thing that affects us is being stuck in the past.
Yeah.
We are too stuck in the things that have happened in the past. We don't want to let go. We don't want to release them. And these things take work. It takes, an intention. They just don't happen. You know, you need to be conscious that I'm holding on to something. I'm feeling stuck because of this, that. Like I was telling you, when I was gripped with fear after my certification, I was like, oh my, what can I do? after my session, I had to go read about great people who had felt stuck before. And one of the people I read from that helped me so much was my former boss, Richard Branson. And he gave step by step of things he did that got him to start again. He's gone through things.
Of course,
as an entrepreneur, if you want to go after this
he's
thing,
been bankrupt a few
times. And after reading his story and the steps he went through, I mean, the first one he said is, if you fall and fall flat.
Fall well.
Fall well.
Not on a sofa. Sofa floor.
You know, he said, go all the way down and then rest there for some time and then get up again. I mean, it really helped me. Then I read a book by Lisa Nichols, Abundance Now.
Okay.
And, you know, it was, so you need to you need to accept that I'm down. I've lost, my confidence. I've lost inspiration. I've lost motivation. Then with that acceptance, you can do something. But most of the time we are in self-denial anyway.
Yeah.
You can see women who are not confident, but they tell you I'm confident. So sometimes people hide behind a facade of confidence, but it's not confidence. You know, you can be wearing nice dresses, you can have nice hair and all that, but not have self-confidence. And so if you don't accept that you are not doing what you have to do, something is holding you back. It could be fear, it could be things that you haven't released. You can never move forward and work on why you are being held back.
Yeah.
So it's always good to be honest with ourselves as women.
I want to talk about rejection.
Okay.
Because I think for women, rejection is a big thing.
It is.
We feel beautiful and like super women when we're loved. And when a relationship ends, or when we lose the love of somebody that we adore, we feel utterly... I don't know what the word is. I mean, utterly thrown away and discarded and worthless. And I think that for most women, the lack of self-confidence or the erosion of confidence has come from the
relationship.
Exactly.
One of the factors, the experiences I mentioned, one of them is relationship. That happens, that people lose their... But just like you are narrating, when a relationship ends, I think we make it about us. That we lack something. That's why the relationship ended. But sometimes, or most of the time, it's not what you lack. People do things because of who they are, not because of who you are. But we take the blame and use it to judge ourselves or to give ourselves a certain lack of worth, lack of esteem, lack of value, lack of maybe beauty.
Yeah.
Now we bring it to the physical side. Maybe I wasn't good. I didn't speak well. Maybe I wasn't pretty enough. And when we start telling ourselves all these things to justify why somebody decided to leave us, it becomes our story. So it is not about you. If someone decides to end a relationship, it's about them. It's about what they want to do. No matter how much they make it about you, it is not about you. Because everybody is different. So if someone ends a relationship or rejects you or abandon you, I like the word abandon.
Abandon, yeah. Because that's how we feel, abandoned.
Don't make it about you. It's difficult because then you ask, what didn't I have?
What did I do wrong?
What did I do wrong? But this is where it comes in. If you don't know what you have, then you think you don't have anything. That's why they've left you. It's important to know your own value, your own worth. What did you bring on the table? Sometimes you don't know what you even brought to the relationship.
Yeah.
But if you know what you brought to the relationship and you know how valuable it is, it's like, it's your loss.
It's your... Ariel, I mean, I want to say something. I don't want to be... what's the word? To sound too... Christian, because not everybody listening to us is Christian.
Sure.
But one of the things that most people will speak up about me is that I have a lot of confidence.
Okay.
I've always had a lot of confidence. It has been eroded in different seasons and been built back up. Sure. But it is a very fearless confidence that I have in my mistakes, in my failures.
Yeah.
in my faults and my flaws and all of that. I don't know how anybody can have confidence without knowing who they are in God, or without knowing God.
Yeah.
So I remember a few weeks ago, my daughter was asking me, she was like, Mommy, why are you so confident? Like, why is it that nothing bothers you? And my answer was very simple, like, because I know whose I am.
Yeah.
And who created me.
Yeah.
So I know he doesn't make mistakes, even though I may. I find it difficult to talk about confidence. And of course, I mean, I believe in the inner work and all of those things. But how are you going to do all of that without that blanket or that source of this is who
I am?
I am.
That's who you are. If you
in
don't know
God.
who you are in Christ, like you're saying, it comes to not knowing that you have value.
Yeah. Because otherwise, what is your value as a human being?
You have a value just because you're breathing. When I tell people, they are like, yes, just because you are, it's your value. Now, when we are born as children, babies, everybody think we are $100 million baby.
Yeah.
It doesn't change. That self-worth is the same.
You know this story. I'm sorry to interrupt. There's
Sure,
this story that is told about like a 200 CD note.
Yeah.
So a 200 CD note when it's nice and fresh from the bank. It's still a 200
It's still
CD
a
note when
200
it's on the
CD
ground and somebody steps on it. It's still a 200 CD note when it's crumpled and
Exactly.
all of that. And sometimes when a note gets torn, you have to take it to GCB or Bank of Ghana
It's still
to
200
kind
Ghana
of get
cedis.
a new one note because and that's kind of like what we have in
Yeah,
Jesus, right?
yeah.
Okay, I'm all crumpled up and torn.
But you
Here
still
I am.
worthy.
Yeah, you know, I mean,
You're
so our
still
value
worthy.
doesn't change.
Yeah.
But it's difficult to have that perception of value
In ourselves.
if you feel like you're this autonomous human being who is not connected to a
the
source.
separation.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that is a whole topic on its own.
I didn't
Why we
mean
feel
to preach,
separated.
but I mean-
no, but it's very important that we bring these things into our conversations, because that's where we are supposed to have that place of stability, inner stability,
Yeah.
that I know who I am because I was created by someone who finds value in me.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that somebody treated me some way doesn't mean I've lost that value.
Yeah.
You know, we make everything everybody does as a representation of
Who
ourselves,
we are.
of
Exactly.
who we are.
Exactly.
And it's because we talk about trust in God, but we don't really believe that He sees us as worthy. And so we need to change that orientation. Who do you trust in? Where is your belief coming from? You should have a belief in something, you know. It's not just and for me, my journey, as you mentioned, I had to question a lot of things. I had to question my spiritual life.
Yeah.
I had to question things to find out that it's not about God that, things are going the way they are going. God has done it. He's done his bit. It is me not applying the word and appropriating it in my life well. You know, and so that started making me look at my spiritual life in a different light. So it's very important for us to know and have that trust in the omnipotent, in a bigger being that has us as his children. If you don't have that, confidence will always be a problem.
A problem, yeah.
Yeah, because you always will feel like you're separated.
And your
in the
confidence
world.
will be in something. It will either
It will
be in your
ex-
money
in-
or your
exactly.
job.
In
or
material
your ability
things.
to attract a good man.
Exactly,
and
exactly.
those things are, well, wishy-washy because they come and
Yeah,
go.
they come and go. They
Yeah.
come and go.
So
They
I
come
feel
and
like,
go.
okay, that's probably like the most important thing when it comes to
Yeah.
self-confidence and stuff. But there are also other things that we can do that make us feel confident.
Yeah.
Apart from the inner work.
Yeah.
So do you want to talk to us about some
Yes,
of
there are
these?
so many things we can do to feel confident. The first thing is development. Having that sense that I need to develop. So maybe it's a field you want to go into. The knowledge and information in that field will not just come. You need to go acquire them. And now I think information is a lot out there. And I tell people, you are the one paying for the internet. Use it to improve yourself.
Use it for sensible
Use
things.
it for things that will add
Oh my
value
God.
to you.
Mirabel says you guys want to call in.
Oh, okay.
So whilst Ariel is talking, I'm just going to open the phone line 0302-216-541. If you want to call in with your questions or your comments, or I don't know why you're calling because we haven't opened the phone lines yet. But since you have something to say, we do love you. So 0302-216-541. And then when you just finish that thought, I'll just go
and
through
take that call.
our messages. And some people want your contact as well, so we can do that.
The other thing is to embrace what you love. Most of the time, because we compare ourselves, we forget the things we like and we love.
Yeah.
Your confidence comes by doing the things you love and you like.
And it's important to also, in terms of what you're saying, it's important to be brave about the fact that there are things you don't like and things that you like. Because our
very
culture,
important.
when you say you don't like something, that's when now people are going to say, you dear, everything you don't like, this, you don't like this, you don't like that. It is okay for me not to like. Like, do you understand? The way you are chewing the chicken, I don't like it. So I'm not going to eat with you. Like, it is okay to say I don't like
that's
these
true.
things.
You
But
should know-
and our
you should
culture
know things
doesn't
you don't
really
like.
encourage us to. It encourages us to like everything. But I'm teaching my children to not like. You have to be very.
Yeah, if you don't like something,
I don't like it.
Be bold to say.
And you don't
like
always
this,
have
I
to
like
explain yourself. Like,
At all.
I don't like it. It's a full sentence.
It's a full sentence.
But have a sensible reason, though, in your own head.
In your own
all right, let's go to the phone lines. Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Hi, what's your name?
Nana.
Nana, what's up?
Hello, I'm here.
Okay. Hi. Thank you for being here.
Okay, so another aspect that is yet to be mentioned is the kind of friend you keep, the kind of company you keep, the kind of things they say to you can either make you or break your self-esteem. It works perfectly well. I recently encountered a lady who was having troubles in school because she was slim. She was being body shamed. Anytime she steps out, the other ladies will be pointing fingers at her. They do it for her to see and they'll be laughing. And it really, really got to her till I met her. I just showed her three things because in the kind of environment that I found myself, I was nearly pushed to that corner, but I just didn't batch to it. I just be who I am, and that was it. See, I have bald hair. See, runs in the family. And people will see me and they'll go like, they'll be making that kind of face, and I'm like, dude, I don't control this. It's natural. What do you want me to do about it? So if me myself, I don't have any issue with it, and you have a problem with it, then that's your own problem. You know it is. I don't care. And I just showed the lady. I showed her. I bent down. I showed her my head. I have back hair. People have issues with it, but I don't care. You see, and she was just looking at me. That was just it. And gradually now we are getting there. She's confident a little. We are working on her. People should be very, very careful with some of this issue that we are talking about this evening. It's not as simple as it looks like. There's this kind of suicide things that we see sometimes. Some of these things contribute to it. Victimize people just anyhow. And our upbringing to is somehow not helping. You know, we are raised to be something else. In the moment you drift a little, you are victimized because you are not being dogma to whatever it is that you are being told to do. And if you are not firm, you begin to question a lot of things. As if you are not worth it. Well, you are just doing the right thing. You are just not following the crowd.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So, Charlie, thanks for the accommodation this evening. I really, really appreciate it. Some men also go through it also. Maybe next. Oh, yeah. You see this same bad head thing. I was sitting down. A guy just walked to me and asked me, what medicine do you use for hair? I said, bro, I don't use any medicine. He said, wow, I've been looking for medicine. I said, Master, the money you have on Eson, you are born like this and you want medicine to do what? My brother, focus on what is important. If anybody will want to ridicule you, let them ridicule you. Laugh, smile, be happy. That is the most important thing. You can't control how people will see you.
Yeah.
And you see, those ones you can't control. What you can control is your happiness. Focus on that. Natural things, you can't do anything about them. Like bad head, like my own. I can leave my hair, it will grow. I don't care. People will see, they'll complain. I say, is that true? Is that one your problem?
Next time you come to
Do you understand? So next time they won't ask me again. They see me and they say, hey, I say, yeah, remove.
Thank you so much, Nana. Thank you so much for calling us. 0302216541. Our phone lines are open, so you can share your confidence experiences with us. Good evening. My name is Nitya. Your introduction describes me, and I think I really want to speak to your guests. I will appreciate. Yes, Ariel will give her contacts out at the end of the show. Good evening, Animwaa. Don't forget to talk about how foreign standards of beauty takes away the confidence of an African girl, aiming for a Western model figure instead of a healthy African figure can take away pride and beauty of our girls. Odote. It's interesting now because it's kind of switched. When I was growing up, the standard of beauty was the slim,
but now
skinny girl. But now it's the Kim Kardashian. I call it the Kim Kardashian era. So you find that your kids are not worried about being skinny. They are worried about when their breasts will develop and when their curves will
show.
You know. So, okay, phone call. Okay, hello. Hello. Good evening.
Yeah, evening.
Hi. What's your name?
My name is Michael.
Hi, Michael. What's up?
Cool. You are doing a great job. I'm calling from Akosombo.
Thank you.
Yeah. I thank you so much.
Thank you.
And I thank my brother who just contributed right now before you even come in. Thank you so much. God bless all of you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Michael.
Something is worrying me. I just want to ask.
Okay, go ahead.
If you are in a relationship, and it is like when you are working, things go on very well. But when jobs spoil and it came back, still things go wrong. Why?
What is he saying?
Lady sometimes don't understand men who we are not like the other people. Sometimes when things came on off-road, then you could see that men cannot have patience for ladies sometimes. If it is money side, it's not easy. Even my former wife, when my job spoiled, she even feel very big shame of herself, telling my daughter that your father is dead. Whereby my daughter know that the father is not dead. When I call them on phone to greet them, then my daughter picked the phone and she said, Mommy said you shouldn't call this line again. I know that my father is dead. Why is it so?
Wow. Thank you so much for that. That's really sad. Ariel, do you want to?
Yes. I mean, I share your feelings in what you are sharing, but he mentioned something that when you have money, then the women have, they are confident in the relationship. But when you don't have money, and this is not about every woman. First of all, and anybody who, leaves you because of money, it tells you what they want in a relationship. And our orientation about what relationships are supposed to be is very important. Yeah. What does a relationship mean to you? Some people, it means you have to provide for me. And so if you don't have money, then it means you don't, qualify or earn my respect or love. Unfortunately, these are things that varies for people. And so as much as we appreciate what you're going through, I would love for you to maybe get in touch with me so I can really understand and see how I can help you get over that emotional space you find yourself right now.
I think that would be great. So Ariel will give her number at the end of the show. and then you can call her and then have a conversation with her on that. But thank you so much, Michael, for sharing your story with us. This one says, very excellent explanation. Fear is my one issue. I read the Bible at church. I teach at children's service. I read tributes at funerals and give talks on my church programs. I can do everything, but fear is my problem,
guess,
and it's
yeah.
because I lost my parents that I stayed with, and what went on after always puts the fear in me. Oh, Dede, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, Dede, sorry. But you see, some of the things I mentioned, grief can be one of the reasons we lose
Our confidence,
So
yeah.
if you lose a loved one and you don't heal grief properly, it can be something that holds you back for a very long time. And these are things we need to consciously
Work through.
Yeah. Yeah, there are processes, and every emotion and how you can care for it.
Yeah.
The way you care for shame, anger, resentment, grief is different from how you care for sadness, and so naming
course,
your
yeah.
feelings,
Naming your feelings,
and what
yeah.
you're going through is crucial to how you deal with what you're going through. Yeah.
So like I said, Ariel will give her number because some of these things are very specific. So
Exactly.
it's better if we kind of know. Okay, hello, good evening. Hello.
Hello.
Hi. How are you?
I'm fine.
Okay, what's up?
Listen, I have some questions.
Go ahead.
I am in my early 20s and I am preparing to go to school. But anytime I think about school or this thing. Hello.
Sir, I want.
Hello.
Yes, I'm here. I'm listening.
Oh yeah. I said anytime I actually think about going to school or something, I feel a little bit scared and something like that. So I just wanted to ask that, what can I do to overcome that shaky shaky tension and those fear that comes anytime I think about going back to tertiary and all of those stuff.
Okay, great one there. And actually, I think you're dealing with fear. But then what I'll ask is, what has been your experience when it comes to academics? Because it means you've experienced something that you keep having a memory of it, and that is what is making you afraid of going into the educational level again. So you need to have a little bit of self-talk or find out, what am I afraid of? And I think it's something that has happened in the past. You might have had, maybe you wrote an exam and maybe you failed at it, and that might have been a fear that you are dealing with. And so find out what is causing you that fear. Once you'll be able to, pinpoint what makes you uncomfortable about studying again, is the beginning. If you don't find it, you are kind of always lost. And so you need to find what is causing the fear, because you're dealing with fear at the moment.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for that. Great discussion and submission. What do you do if your assertiveness and confidence is misunderstood by a colleague and boss at work as being proud or arrogant? Secondly, at what point in time do you respond to rumors of falsehood against or false opinions in the office?
Worried man.
This is from a worried man. You see, the funny thing is that arrogance and assertiveness and confidence, sometimes they look,
the lines are very close.
it's like gan kenke, fancy kenke, plantain kenke, and abolo.
That's interesting.
They're all,
This comparison is interesting. Yeah, they are very close.
they can look the same.
Yeah, I think if you're having such challenge, people think you're arrogant and you think it's not arrogance, then what you need to do is to ask them for feedback. Ask for feedback. Sometimes we think it's not arrogance, but there are certain words that if you use may come off as arrogance. And so ask for feedback. would you have wanted me to say what I say?
But you see, there are people too who don't have sense. So when you go and ask for feedback from somebody who doesn't have sense, who thinks you're arrogant, what they'll tell you will even now annoy you and then to spoil them.
But if you don't get the feedback, you think you are just being assertive or you're just communicating what you want. But if you are having this constant feedback that you're arrogant and you're this, just make it a conscious effort to ask, how would you have wanted me to say that? It's not that, give me feedback about myself. No. How would you have wanted me to say that? This is how I meant it. The person may tell you back that maybe there's one word you use that makes it sound like arrogance. But from your mind, it's not about being arrogant. And so if it's something that is repeated, then you need to get feedback. What do you say? Or what gesture? You know, there are a lot of things that makes one come off as arrogant. It could be gesture, it could be body talk and all that. So maybe just ask a feedback. You could ask it from a loved one. It could be from a relative, a sister, a brother. And that will help you to get some awareness. And
I would always say that you should be, this is my personal opinion.
Yeah.
That not everybody is worthy enough to give feedback.
No,
to
not
give
everybody.
I mean, this
No.
is, like I said, is my personal opinion.
Yeah.
So when you're going to ask for feedback, especially things to do like this, confidence, arrogance, ask from somebody who you trust.
Yeah.
Who you know would want the best for you, who is sensible enough,
Exactly.
discerning enough,
Yeah.
and who is knowledgeable enough to be
Yeah.
able to tell you that, oh, this is arrogance or this
Yeah.
is confidence.
Yeah.
Because like I said, sometimes they can look very close.
Yeah.
Kind of look like each other.
Yeah.
Gilbert wants to talk to us. Okay, all right. Good evening. Great topic for me. I think once confidence level comes with marriage, money, and childbearing. But you see, Joseph, that's what we're talking about. Is when your confidence is in things. Yeah. So then, what if it goes away?
Yeah.
Don't just fit in. Be who you are. Being yourself can make you an automatic victim to a lot of dogma followers. It'll end in name calling. But don't worry, what you gain in reverse are people who will love and appreciate you for you. Prioritize your happiness. I agree with you, Nana Chrissy. That's a good one. Being yourself it's not easy. It's really not easy. Okay, Ariel, time to go. Last words.
Yeah, last words. I mean, as I said, confidence is not static. It's not a personality trait. It's a skill we can all develop, but it needs to be a conscious effort and giving yourself the chance to build on it, because we all have a level of it. You have a little. Once you can wear a dress and step out, you have some confidence. Once you can sit on a chair and not be afraid to fall, you have some confidence. So now you need to build on it to go achieve those things that you want. And I was giving the tips for building self-confidence. One of the things is grooming.
I was just, we don't
Grooming.
have time, but
Yeah.
grooming is so important. Hair, nails, your face,
How you
makeup,
groom yourself gives
tweezing
you-
your facial
Yeah.
hairs, waxing,
Yeah.
your legs, getting a pedicure.
And for me, even how you eat.
yes, how you
all
chew,
those things come in.
lemon in the armpits,
Yes,
lots and lots of
things,
things.
yeah.
So maybe we'll have a very practical conversation on that one of these days. But thank you so much, Ariel, for joining us.
People were asking for my number.
Yes.
So I can be reached on 0243 600 899. 0243 600 899.
Wow, a very big thank you to the whole team. A big Crispy, Eileen, Mirabelle. Thank you guys so much for making the show so fun behind the scenes. My name is Animwaa Anim-Addo. This is Strong and Sassy. We'll be back next week. And actually, in the next few weeks, we have some really exciting news for you. So stay tuned in. We'll be filling you in on what we're doing next with Strong and Sassy. Maxwell Agbadbas is bringing us the 8 o'clock news.